Hello there. So today, for those of you that are watching, we will be getting one of these ready for war. This is my current low FPS primary. We're getting this ready. I might convert to half darts. I've got a kit just here if need be. Fix up the stampede, because that will be coming in handy the next war. We'll be looking at some of my war gear, and we'll probably get this nice higher power thing ready as well. As at our next war, we will be having a higher power area, which is nice. We've also got this. This looks nice. Well, my opinion looks nice. Uses a breach system. Cut the breach a little long, but it still works great. It's still hitting under our normal limit. Our normal limit is 150 FPS, at least for these wars. But this is only hitting around the 130s last I checked. And you can't load it while there's a dart in here due to vacuum loading. If you do that, it will pull back. So you can either keep this off or just load this before you put the dart in. Back down, and you can fire. And if you cover the barrel, it does create an air seal, so your dart won't come out the end, which is nice. Alright, so first off, we'll be looking at the Retaliator, because this just needs a bit of a tune-up. It's still working fine. Inside, it's got like a 5 kilo spring from Blaster Tech, and a standard worker style breach. So it's just the clear one. It increases strength a little bit, which I thought would help. It adds a little bit of seal. Would have just added some brass, but time I was using my brass for other projects, and this was $5 or so. So $5 for a little bit of extra is great. Plus, this technically can seal into brass. Don't recommend doing that over your standard brass breach. For some reason, a lot of people don't recommend brassing a Retaliator at all. Such a Spectre. But if you want to do it, and you want to be able to take all sorts of darts, and you think you're able to do it, then definitely do it. Anyone up to some modding themselves these days? Should be a lot of time on people's hands, although work might be starting back for a few of you. As you can see, some of the paint's starting to wear off up here and over there from the wars. This has been used in probably 2 wars now and a few micro battles around the house, and generally got a little bit beat up in that time. Didn't do too many coats, so that's fine. Don't mind it wearing through. It'll look nice as it goes through. Give it a warm look. And as you may have noticed, the main barrel isn't painted. That's because at the time I was changing that barrel between a XPT Retaliator and this one, so that I could use the pump grip on both. I know, buy a new set, but the other one was secondhand, so I didn't actually have a spare barrel to go with it. So rather than buying a new one, I thought why not just undo the barrel and put it on that one. Pump grip arms are more or less the same, so it won't matter either way. This is an old one. It's nice for the lower power stuff. It's a bit harder to use with the expanded plumbing tube Retaliator. If you saw my latest video, the 1 hour long one, just seeing part of it even, there are a lot. You can see a newer model there, and that fixes some of the problems. Not all of them. It creates a few as well, but it does fix the strength problem because it doesn't stick out as far, so you have less chance that these pegs are going to snap off. Need to tighten these a little, press them in more. They appear to be fine. The bolt slide's just stock. Don't know how long it's going to last for. The plan is eventually to convert it to the polycarbonate blue one from Worker, or to reinforce it using some metal. Hello, Brezzy 5000. How you doing? Hopefully I'm not driving you too insane, although by the appears of it, maybe. We'll see. So yeah, this is just going to be, for those of you that didn't come in immediately, me showing you guys my war gear, me prepping for war, and just generally making sure that none of these blasters are ready to fail on the day. Still a little while out, but we still are going to be able to retune them if need be. For some reason, I only have one spoon there. Hello, Omega. What's up? Good to see you here. So I forgot to cover the screw posts when painting this, so it's still a little hard getting it out, although it's mostly worn down now, as you can see. Inside, we've just got this. This was an American stock spec one, but it is no longer stock. I can't get away with it as stock. Obviously, the color scheme, and also I wouldn't want to. If it's hello, you guys can meet my doggy Ruby. Hello. Yes, she's come to say hello. She does like eating my darts, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on her. Hopefully, she doesn't jump up and steal any. No, no, no. Anyway, so back to this. We're just going to re-lubricate all this and make sure everything's functioning correctly. It was getting a bit rough last time I used it, so this should fix some things with that. Get a little top of it here. I should have taken this out beforehand. I'll just get the spring out. Put some around here. Not too much build up because I haven't given it much time to build up. Always try and fix up your blasters at least once a month to make sure everything is working correctly. Yeah, it's good. That's still working good, which is fine. See, after a while, it seems that these back tubes like cracking. You can fix them. Hello, dummy basilisk. I'm YT. I'm doing good, thank you. The problem is, yeah, that just comes off after a while, so that can potentially get in the way of some things. Now that's completely off, may as well just remove it entirely. But no, it's not going to stay on. May epoxy it back on later, but for now, just clean up the edge of the tube and get some more of that there. If you live in really sandy areas, it does tend to build up a lot faster, but I don't think I live in too sandy of an area. Let's just clear that ring a bit, add some dirt on it. The more dirt on it, the less likely it is to work. My dog's gone mad. The more dirt on it, the less likely it is to work. I believe one of you here told me that you live in a desert area, and it is very, very hard to keep your blasters functioning correctly, especially the flywheels. Nah, flywheels aren't my favorite, but I am thinking of doing the full auto flywheel build. Have been for some time, but still considering the pros and cons. Cons, one of them is obviously it's a flywheel blaster, so there is that. So that should slide in. All right, yeah. So that will slide in there, provided this is pressed down. While it's actually in the blaster, this will be pressed down by the other side of the shell. This little dart gate. While it's not, I probably should have that orange cap on there. However, I have no idea where I put that, so not needed, and that's fine. So we'll just put this back on because everything is working. So yeah, this isn't going to be the biggest stream. You guys can ask some questions. I'll try my best to answer them if I know the answer. But if not, well, then sure, you can find it somewhere on YouTube. YouTube's got about 100,000 videos made per day. I think you should be able to find something, I guess. But first, watch this, because otherwise this time. That's why you should look at the camera. Just slipping this on should, prevent that from popping open while we do that. See, this doesn't actually hold in the spring because the backplate does that. This is just for look. Well, not look. It's going to hold on the stock points and will keep the blaster clamps together while I screw up the rest. Yeah, and I know it's a bit boring of a stream today, but I want to do a stream, and I figured I need to fix my blasters up anyway, so may as well do that while on stream. You guys can ask me some questions, and I'll try my best to answer them as well. So that was pretty simple. The Exus needs all its screws put in, which I'll show you guys its shooting in a minute, but it's nothing too impressive. Just got the standard alpha kit in there until I managed to turn it into brass. I used the last of my 9/16 on this pistol, and there wasn't actually enough to make it into a breech, so I used it on the pistol. Gonna get a new shipment in soon because I will need to brass that up, hopefully before the war. If it doesn't happen though, that's okay. It's working perfectly fine. I just like using brass breeches. They're fun. I know you guys haven't seen too many on here. The ones I've made were mostly made in between when I was doing videos. So if you see gaps in the channel, generally the breeches were made there. But yeah, I do enjoy making them, though sometimes they can be a bit frustrating if they just refuse to work. There are times like that, just blasters being painful and all that. There was one blaster I was building recently that was being so painful, and it was just oh, what happened to the monkey? Interesting. You saying because I'm playing with tools, I'm a monkey? Huh? That's what you saying? If with the blaster I was building recently, also it was an absolute pain to build and wasn't fun. You want to try and have fun. Oh yes, okay. You want to try and have fun with your builds, because otherwise, then what's the point of doing Nerf? If you're not having fun with it, then go and find another hobby or something. If you're not having fun, then don't bother doing it. At least with hobbies, not in general. If you're doing a job and you're not finding it fun, well, you're getting paid, so you can't complain there. Also, yes, you're calling me a monkey because of that. Well, okay, sort of fair, but currently that's what we're doing, so it should be fine after we get this last screw in. I probably should have tested it with just 2 or 3 screws in, but now I'm confident that this will work. Also, love how the pump grip just stays on like this. A while back, I lost one of the screws to this front grip. It just fell off in the middle of battle, and we haven't found it. It's probably still at the place where we go to, which it's a really nice place. It's a nice big park, lots of trees, some cover, some open areas. But we do, of course, only use the section of the park, partially so others can use it, partially because otherwise some people would just continue running until they were off the edge of the earth, so to speak. And then that wouldn't be fun for those chasing them down. Hello, what are you doing? Guys, for those of you here a moment ago, this is my dog Ruby. Look at the camera. Say hello. Hello, Alec Fraser. Ah, yes, I remember. Remember, everybody. This guy made the Gatling gun. His builds are really nice. So good to have you on stream, Alec. The minigun was really cool. Anyway, so this should just, yep. So it catches. I'll get dart, and I put the magazine over here. Where did I put the magazines? 22 round magazine. So in my games for my full length stuff, actually, I'm gonna shoot the good dart because since Ruby's here, she will eat all of it. If I shoot a bad dart, she might not. Because she's got good ace, so she won't eat those as often. I forgot to open the box. Yes, Alec from the auxiliary. Yeah, the auxiliary is really nice. They are run by a madman who also has a Gatling gun. Seems like it's full of people with Gatling guns. So yes, it works. The dog eats it, and yep, we'll be prying it. All locks taken out. So what I usually run for my wars. Oh, and that reminds me, the next here, screw cover. What I usually run at the wars is this, along with wars are restarting in my area. Yes, they are. Which I'm really excited about. I help run the wars over here, and we have quite a lot of fun doing we've had our biggest one. Yes, the captain is a madman. Yeah, well, plural. Well, run the band of madmen. Let's just leave it at that. So, what I usually run at the wars is this belt that holds 2 mags, and I am getting some for talons soon, as since high power wars are going to be more common now. That means this thing will be needing talons along with a couple of other blasters. I do have talon adapter for this if I ever want to swap to using half darts. It'll be easy as just swap out 2 parts and we're all ready to go. But then I can also swap out my belt. These just go on the left side, so I can pull them out, slap them in the blaster. Yes, they're upside down. That's fine. I like pulling them down, then up. That way I don't have to flip them around in my hand. Boom, boom, into the blaster. Nice and easy. They hold the mags really tight. Before, with my homemade kit, I was having trouble with them wiggling and not holding properly. And yeah, this was a very, very nice addition. And yeah, I'll be getting the Talon mag holders soon, so that way I can run them easily. And you're not sure of spelling French is my main language? Hey, it's fine. I have no clue why the English language is spelt like it is, to be perfectly honest. There is just so many different variables in the English language. Makes no sense half the time, but that is fine, so long as we can still eventually say what we want to say. And yeah, it is efficient, but I do want to get a battle vest of some form, something that looks like armor, like a sort of light infantry armor, because I do not enjoy being too hot in this heat. It's especially in summer. I could just not wear it, but then if I wear it at some and not wear it at others, then what's the point? I'm going to be ruining my heat. So I'm thinking just getting a vest, and that's it. It will add a little bit of heat, but that's okay, especially since it's winter right now. For those of you wondering, yes, it's winter on the right side of the world. Well, bottom. I don't know if it's correct for you guys, but you know what they say. Anyway, so for those of you, like full bit vest or just a chest rig. No, so it'll be like an actual armor vest. So, well, actual armor. It'll be like a foam padding. So the idea is that it'll be 100% for looks. It won't add anything. Literally all it does is add weight, but it'll look fun, and ultimately that is the goal of this, is it not? So along with that, I have sometimes run this if it's not too hot. Nice skull mask. Make sure that it is intimidating for my enemies. I don't know if it works, but hey, it's like fun. It's just, as long as it's fun, it's fine. And I will hopefully be recording a next game with this GoPro. If it doesn't work out, well, you won't see the video, so you'll have to assume that it didn't work out. But I'm hoping it does, because some really cool people there, and I can try and show off some of their loadouts if you want to see them. And yeah, just depending on what you guys want to see, I can do some loadouts. I can probably do some gameplay footage if I can get it looking nice enough that it's actually worth showing without ruining it. I tried doing it last time, but I wasn't quite ready, and I didn't record it quite correctly. And you mean the armor vest is selling Tactical X-Men? Yeah, I think if we're talking about the same one, it's nice and it doesn't. How to describe it? It looks like a sci-fi armor essentially, but it's made of foam and rivets and all this other mad stuff. And yeah, they do sell it on Tactical X-Men and a couple other places. Even Amazon sells it, although they sell everything, so that's not much of a surprise. Some of this. All right then. And yeah, that'll make sense. Doesn't. Cool. Thank you. This is going to hopefully be a new primary. So hilariously enough, the idea is that I'll have 3 primaries for the low power wars by the end of this video. So this is intended to be a primary if no one else with higher power shows up, so I can plink from a distance and just stay out of their range. And by plink, I mean hit them every time. This thing is dead accurate. It is quite an amazing blaster because it was designed not for power but accuracy. That was the whole point. And this, the reason I did this, was to force myself to use two fingers, sorry. So that way I don't destroy one finger. It's only got 7.5 kilos in there, but that can weigh your finger down over time. So let's get Stampede open. It's already, like you guys saw if you saw in the last live stream, it's already pretty much done. I just have to install a new spring properly. I dropped it in the other day, but I didn't finish off installing it properly. I thought it might be a good idea to show it on video. Now, technically, this pistol can take full lengths if need be, but this is the main attraction. I need to get the barrel back in here soon. Now, to check. See, this thing is, it's either not releasing or not catching in the first place. Okay, it appears just to not be. Yeah, okay, so it's just not catching in the first place. It's just probably due to me needing a stronger catch spring, which will be easy enough. I just need to go and grab some from my box. Set them alpha. Thank you. I will look at them in a minute. Right, so it appears that this just probably isn't a strong enough string at all. Maybe just need to flip this around and that will hold it better. No. So it appears strong enough until I screw this down, and I don't know what the difference is. Oh, wait, have I done it again? Yep. So all that I did wrong was put the catch in the wrong way, which is a pain when you have to open up the entire blaster to check that. I don't have any live pose power, so sadly you won't be seeing this fire today, but it is still nice to have it ready. Hello, Ruby. No, don't eat that. And she found an old dart. Ay. So as you can see, the wiring is, well, hopefully you can see. As you can see, the wiring is pretty basic. Just goes from the switch, well, from the power to the switch, back up motors, and then back out again, except that it uses a cutoff so that this doesn't keep firing after I let go of the trigger. I've only attempted to test it on 2S, but it wasn't catching, and I found out why just then. And if it's not working, just simply open it back up and check. It's not going to pee pee poo poo. Hey, come on, be nice. I don't know who you're saying that to. Hopefully not me, Brezzy. So once the Stampede's done, this will be my new primary. Or I have so many primaries at this point. I only use one like per round essentially, but it's good to have them just for some variety. Notice no flywheels, and that's for a good reason. Flywheels are expensive, even for basic upgrades. Well, maybe not that expensive, but comparatively to a springer, where you just need a new spring and a switch. No, in this case, so Nani, he's reading the chat. Yes, I'm reading the chat. Of course, I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the chat this whole time, except for when I've been finishing up the screws. Because I do not want to stuff that up. Don't want to tighten too much. So that won't be good for the blaster. I'll tighten this one over here. So this was the wiring simple. I think the reason people say Stampedes are hard is when you get in bigger mods. I'll be putting in a breach in this eventually. But for now, this is all good. This should now catch. Yep, that's catching. If you're wondering how I tested that, I pulled forward on the breach. Probably not the best option, but it's not pulling forward anymore, which means that we know that the strongest spring is engaged. It's only 6 kilos because, once again, I didn't want to have to upgrade the bolt sled. In this case, gears. Once you go past a certain thing in this, then you are going to have to, once you get past a certain kilo in this, you're going to have to make sure, this is misaligned. Well, we'll work on that. Now, okay. Don't worry, there's no power, even if I point at myself, it can't fire. And the gearbox will eventually give out, so you do not want that happening. So in here, it's got an XC60 connector. The battery door is modified, which is not here right now, so that we can fit the LiPo in easier. I got the Mega Elite Vortex and Mag Fed Rival front end designs done, by the way. Oh, awesome! Yes, Brezi's been on the forums. Brezi is helping design some really nice blasters over there. It's really great. Mostly because if you don't put a cut-off trigger, it will run away with high spring loads. The weight of the bolt will just keep it firing. Yeah, if hey, Gageo Smash, that's okay. If mostly because you don't put a cutoff on the trigger, run away with high spring loads, and the way the bolt will just keep firing. Yeah, that can happen. If that's happening, try and either lower your voltage, so swap from a 3S to a 2S, or from a 4S to a 3S. I bought a 4S just for this blaster, but currently doesn't need it until it gets the higher spring loads. Then another one is going into full upgrade with a breach, and I may try brass, I may try universal breach. Universal breach is my favorite non-brass breach. Yeah, without the cutoff switch, it will just keep firing, and that's why we built in motor braking that, so would sort of force it to stop firing faster. The normal motors can't take it that well, but the Stampede motor is really big and beefy, so it can. And never do it to Neo Hellcats. They get so hot that they will melt any plastic cages that you have, or at least any non-plastic cages. Maybe not some molded ones. Anyway, so I just keep, when I'm undoing this, I just keep all the extra screws in the stock and some darts, because I don't like losing them, and it's a safe spot. As you can hear, they're not going to come out without you deliberately getting them out, which we're about to. So I'll just put it back. So if you have any questions, please do type them in the chat. I am reading that, of course. We'll put this under the pump grip. See, the reason I had to do this again is there's a sad story about dry firing. Don't do it. Just don't. I dry fired once in my life with this blaster, and it just broke instantly. The plunger head, the really bad noise came from it, and the plunger head had ripped off of the plunger rod. Yeah, the Vulcan motor is even more beefy. I can run. Yeah, the Vulcan motor is the beefiest because it has the most load put on it. So the more load you put on it, the more of a motor the bigger the motor you're gonna need. But the this thing snapped sadly while I was test firing at the firing range, which you guys can sort of see. If I'm modding a retired, do I break the blaster if you put in a 30 kilo spring with stock internals? First off, if you do it with, if you do put a 30k spring in a retaliator, I doubt anyone would be able to prime that with the stock slide. I'm assuming it's a stock slide because you said otherwise stock. And even if you could, I don't think it would catch. I think that I think the internals would break before you manage to prime it. How many screw posts have I broken on that X-Zeus? None. None that I can tell. They're all still functioning perfectly well, and none of them are falling apart, which is nice. I may break them in the future, but that's not happened yet, and I really hope it doesn't happen in the future either. It might, and it probably will, as it degrades over time. But ideally, it won't happen for a long, long time. Now, it's only got a 10 kilo spring in here, and it is hitting around 200 FPS most shots. The last time I tested it was a little while ago. I'm going to need to retest it soon because I did some internal swapping with it and all that. But yeah. Do you know the number Q? No, 9 Q. Oh no. Yeah. Well, upgraded catch spring and a pump grip. Even then, no, I don't think. Yeah, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fire, and even if it would probably shatter the actual shell of the blaster at that point. The highest I've heard is probably 22, 23 kilos, maybe a bit more if you Chris Cartea, but that's in a very, very modded Exus. And this thing, it's completely custom internal. That thing hits over 400 FPS, and it's just absurd. I don't think you would ever want 30 kilos. I don't think above 200 FPS is fine with Exuses. They're not needed to go higher. Of course, I want to go higher, but it's not needed because, well, for starters, you are going to need a minimum engagement distance at that point over in 34 kilos in a long shot. Well, that is absurd amount of spring, and I'm never putting that many in mine. I'm not sure who did that. If you know who did that, please tell me. I want to figure out how they did it without snapping everything. I honestly have no idea how much the shell can take, so I'm not sure. Chris has a habit of reinforcing the inside shell of the blaster just so they don't shatter. Yeah, that is true. If you put in, I'll just use a ACC dart. If you put in reinforcements like he does, then okay, it's still shooting just fine. If you put in some reinforcements like he does, I don't think you have to worry too much about your blaster breaking from anything short of a Dremel deliberately cutting it. So, if I could change one thing about this blaster, it would be the stock. The stock absolutely sucks. If you're wondering also why there's a pink tip, usually that's where I put the spiral, just letting you know. Which, yeah, I got used to firing blasters without a new shell. Can't take 36 kilos. Too bad. That would have been fun for you to use. Which wars do you go to? I think, if I remember correctly, you go to the Insane Wars that I mentioned in the video a little while back now. Alright, so the reason I dry fired, I sort of, can I take a K26? Yeah, I can take it. I can catch one. But I'm not sure for how long I'll be able to continue catching it. The way I dry fired was I had sort of forgotten to mess with my scar, and then after a bit, I realized why my darts had no effect on my darts. So I turned it, but I forgot I had it loaded, so I primed it, and turns out I'd already used my last dart, and it broke off. Can my shirt kick to 26? I don't know. It's a pretty strong shirt, but every shirt has its limits, of course. So this can easily reach the back fence, which is about 20 meters away. It'll keep going. This thing ranges out past 30 meters, so I have no worry about outranging everyone at the upcoming war, except perhaps if the guy that was in the video a little while ago shows up to the war. It's about 50-50 because he's going away on holidays. I'm sad, but that's okay. I did not saw the video of the captain. No, I haven't seen all the videos of Captain Xavier's. I've been a little bit busy with other stuff because well, for starters, I've been doing these. I should be wearing my glasses. That's a bad idea. For starters, I've been doing videos. Second, there's a lot of work I've had to do. And third, his latest page K26s and all those, I stopped watching them after about episode 60 something. Can the Zeus take a K26? Yeah, it's essentially a long shot, and I think he covered that a long shot can. Not the most efficient spring to do so with, though, because, well, it's not made for it. This kid doesn't spring made for it rather than putting in a K26 to everything. So yeah, this is my game bag. Put everything into here. Really nice bag. Got Blaster Sec Patch and Bang Patch. Spectre is going to kill me if I keep showing these off, but that's fine. He can come and if he wants to kill me, he'll have to come over here, which means essentially he'll have to do it on the field of battle at a war. So that's fine by me. But it can fit enough stuff that I can carry on for most of our games without having to refill anything. It's got enough room there. It's got more room on the back. It's got some molly on it. It's got some straps here. It's got everything. It's really good. It's got Blastotex. I got some really nice patches, as I showed you guys earlier, which I'm really happy about. So I keep showing it off to people because I like patches. Hopefully we can get a Atto patch soon, an Alpha 2 Omega patch, and a regular Alpha patch. Working on the former, but the latter will take a while to ramp up. If I can get them, I can slap them on my bag, which would be really nice. Alrighty, so next up we've got a Recon, which I don't know where the trigger is, but we can put in the rest of the internals anyway. So yeah, keep the questions coming. I'll answer them as I see them. The Recon, these are... I got this kit to test it because I saw someone do something really amazing with one of these. So I wanted to see if I could replicate that. I almost did. It worked for a little bit, but the thing is, it's worn down now. I may have messed with it a bit too much, and it's not hitting as it's supposed to, but that's okay. When you mess with plastic components, they're going to eventually wear down. But it still works well enough to take it to the war. So this is the assembly. This metal was from the XPT. This is more or less trash now, unless I'm using another expanded planet tube. Since you'll link to the video of the captain I'm talking about, thank you, sir. Should have a look at that along with the rest soon in 1 moment. So as you can see, inside of this shell is a lot of dirt and grime because I had to do a lot of cutting on this one, and it didn't. I haven't cleared it out in a while, and the extra stuff gets in the way. So in there was a 9 kilo spring, a so-called 9 kilo spring. The worker ones aren't the best, so this will be getting a replacement. But the whole reason I wanted to use that one was actually because of an old buy of mine. It was this one, I forget his name, Easy Magwell adapter. It can fit either Talons or Katanas, and it's pretty nice. I actually prefer the worker one. I know. Don't prefer the worker one. I know that's just heresy. But this is a lot looser, and a lot of people like that because they can drop their mags out a lot easier. But it's also rattly, and in most blasters that is quite a problem. So I do prefer the one I've got in my Zeus, which is just here. So this one, compare them by side by side. Once I define this, so I don't forget. So spiders. So if we compare these side by side, if I put them the right way around, starters off, this can only fit in the Retaliator. It was designed for the Retaliator, will not fit in anything else without modification. At that point, may as well just buy a different one. And this was something like 40. It was 45 AUD, give or take, I think. This one was like 12. So this is injection molded. It will take a beating. I could throw this on the ground. I'm not going to because I have to go and pick it up. But I could throw this on the ground. It won't break. This I am not sure about. Apparently they wear down fast. I haven't used it enough to wear down yet, and I've had it for a year, so we'll see. But this is a lot more sturdy, and I just like it more. Even the release is in a better position. For at least for the Zeus. I haven't actually tested it in the Retaliator yet, although this might be a good time to do so. So that goes in there. So your guys' game's starting back up. Do you guys have any events on? Is the world gone? Is the world still mad where you guys live? don't have to run away with this. What's happening over there? And there's the new catch. So whilst I had this blaster going, I need to find the trigger still, but whilst I had this blaster going, it was working well, except for the one thing. It was working too well to catch. It wouldn't uncatch because of what I'd done to it. So now I just have to get a new trigger in there and it'll all be fine. But until then, I'm just going to test the... I saw a really cool recon. Where are the adventures of Alpha? Sean never got... Because anime... I don't know. Anime's not bad, but I also don't know how to animate. So if you want to see the anime adventures of Alpha, you're gonna have to find someone else to do that. I can do pixel art animations, and that is the best I can do right now. Not too bad here. No wars allowed yet, though. Good to hear that's not bad. Bit sad about no wars, but hopefully that'll open up soon for you. The things are only just getting back to normal around here, and we didn't even have many cases over here. But if as things get back to normal, I hope that your wars start soon. Provided it's safe, of course. It wouldn't be good to start it before it is because, well, starting before it's safe will cause more lockdown for everyone. So if one person gets sick, then it will just lead to massive amounts of annoyance for everyone that wasn't involved. So make sure you stay safe with those as well. But good to hear that things are still going well over there. So as you can see, this one just fits in here like this, although it just locks in like that. Fits in quite nicely and looks really nice on the outside. It literally just blends into that shell, especially on this one. I love it on the Recon because, well, it's just old school. I love the Recon, and I think this black, yes, I know, black barrel, it's got covered with colored E-tape. That way, no one will attack me. Plus, the rest of the thing's bright yellow, and you don't see too many guns around here anyway. So that looks really nice, but that said, it's not as sturdy. We'll take a look at this one now. So this just goes, this more or less flush. So that is going to be a whole lot more sturdy. It doesn't look as nice, and you can't do the whole flick your finger forward to release thing, but that's okay. There are disadvantages and advantages to both of these. I really wish these were available initially, because this I had to get in from elsewhere, but the only other option was a pull-out adapter, and those were horrible, at least in my opinion. I know some people actually like them. For certain blasters, I can see how they'd be good, say the double dealer, but for my usual blasters, not at all. So that's got its internals in it, except for the trigger. Actually, the trigger's inside, so I'm not going to go get that. But this will be sort of a loner. I may use it for the lower power, but it'll mostly be a loner just so that I can show people what half darts look like. The Pigeon Man will return on your channel. Okay, Pigeon Man. So I don't know what the Pigeon Man is. I'm not sure if I want to know, but yeah, I don't know if YouTube does let you drop a link to your channel, but click on him anyway if you can. You love the idea of a loner. Yeah, loners are good because it allows new people to get into the hobby. Just don't hand high-powered blasters to 5-year-olds. For starters, they can't prime them. Second, if they can prime them, they will not. Yep, see? Cool. They will not. They will jam them instantly. I handed my main retaliator to around 5-6-year-old. The kid had been using a flamer blaster just fine, mag fed, so I thought he'd be okay. Within 2 seconds, he jammed it up with about 3 darts somehow. Had it all loaded. He didn't have to do anything. He could literally pull the trigger and it'd be fine. But I forgot that Hasbro puts in the lots for a reason. So yeah. That is a bit painful, but other than that, it's good. So for reference, I will go and take a couple shots. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I'm over here. So this thing has a tendency to go down a little bit for some reason. I think I may have tilted the barrel slightly down and building it, but I can adjust for that just by hanging up a little. It's no problem, and it works fine. So ultimately, it won't be a problem. Any ideas for future videos that you guys might want to see on the channel? I've started prepping for a Fire Strike tutorial, and I am still working on a flywheel tutorial, but because that was the initial cut I did of that was a while ago now, and I didn't feel like it captured what you need to do correctly. So I don't want to put out a bad tutorial video. Bad tutorial videos are painful because if you've watched some of the old ones, I know they didn't know better, but they recommended putting tape instead of soldering their wires. That's just dangerous and bad. Never do that. But it wasn't that bad. But I'm just saying I didn't want it to be low quality. I didn't want, because if it's a tutorial, I'm essentially helping you build your blaster. So I don't really want to be in trouble for that. If I stuff up that, if I don't give you a clear interpretation of what to do, then by extension I am helping you destroy a blaster. Now, epoxy is great, but Nerf Academy 4 how to build a fire strike. Right, so building a fire strike is a good idea. Need to get some more epoxy. I've got the brass. We're going to do a front-loaded one. Front-loaded ones are fun, but you don't get quite as much power because you don't know exactly how fast. So with the breach, you know where to load and all that. I may do a breach one, but once again, if I do that, I'll have to wait for brass. I have a bunch of 1730 seconds and some other sizes, but no 9/16 because I somehow seem to use a bunch of that up. But yeah, I'll work on Nerf Academy 4 how to build a fire strike, and I'll try it and do a flywheel blaster. It won't be a strife. Those things are absurdly expensive right now, especially with the shipping costs as they are. But maybe I have a mediator. No, not mediator. Evader. Evader that I could do. It hasn't been modded yet, so that'll be good. The other option is that I could potentially do it to a swordfish when I get one, but that could be quite a while. I have a bunch of switches and that already here, along with some motors, so that would be an easy one to do. But if you want to see a more strife-ish style blaster, then I do understand that. Strifes are the mainstay of the flywheel world for a while now. I have no idea why. I personally don't like them. I prefer the swordfish by far, but it is essentially a strife, I know. But it's got bigger handle, no jam door, which I know everyone hates, but it is good because it leaves me with more room for electronics. I always put my extra MOSFET up there, and MOSFETs are helpful. You don't use bigger switches, which means you can fit more stuff in your handle, such as a switch for a voltmeter. That's helped me out a lot with that. I really love these snips. Snips, I recommend as one of your first tools. So screwdriver first, obviously, you're not going to be opening anything about them. And snips and pliers. Snips and pliers are great, along with a sharp knife. So those are probably the first tools you should get when starting to nerf. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. It was nice seeing you all here. Thank you all for watching. For those of you that aren't subscribed, please, you know where it is. Somewhere along this line here, there are all the buttons that you need to click, except the dislike button. Don't click that. There are all the rest of them, though. They're up for grabs. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.